Okay, I almost forgot to put this video out. I was getting so worked up, but this is a video, a follow-up video to my fireplace build where I purchased this precision fit stack stone. Now it should be pretty easy as far as their 4-inch stones. The dimensions are like 4x9, 4x13, and 4x22. It comes in 3 sizes, and the corners here come in 2 sizes right there, as you can see. So you basically want to just stagger everything is the point. Originally for this thing, I was supposed to use these real live stones because I got these for free and ended up doing a house project on the front. So I just ordered more stones because it was so inexpensive to just order more. I was already paying for shipping. So this is what I ended up with. I'm actually happier. That was just going to be a project that it would have taken forever. So I'm using the same mortar I use in the front to attach it to the front of the house. I'll link some videos that I'm putting out in the description, so you can see other projects with this product or the build of the fireplace itself. And this stuff is pretty good because you could actually install these stones with this mortar. It's got a really sticky property to it. You could install it top down like I did in the front. So, and it'll stick to the wall. You just set it, don't wiggle it, and then you're good to go. So as far as the installation goes, when you're doing the corners, of these 2 sizes, you can basically get three lengths out of it, basically. So it's long, medium, and then this would be the short side. So you can pretty much, as you can see here, I got the long one here first, the short one here going there, because that one's going a long way, is going that way, and then another shorter one going this way, and then a long one going that way. So basically you'll see the 3 sizes right here. It's a long, it's a short, and it's a medium. It's going to be short, and then it's going to go medium, long, however I'm going to figure it out. But basically you do that so it doesn't have your joints don't line up. So, and that's the name of the game, really, is to just get your joints to be staggered. And if you have to, if it lines up, there should be at least 1 stone in between before it lines up, so that it just looks more natural. I mean, obviously this is a manufactured stone, but overall, so far, I think it's coming out pretty good. And basically, I'll show you in a second how to mud the back and attach it to the wall. With this particular project here, there's going to be a fair amount of cuts. Like this was a cut, this is a cut. So you'll need, here's a tip. I showed another video. If you're cutting and you have a blower or a fan or something like that, set it up in front of your workstation. You're going to use like a 4-inch diamond blade like this on a die grinder, and that's what you're going to cut with. And when you cut, the blower will just send all the dust away from you, so you're not sucking that in. You really don't even have to wear a respirator or anything like that. So, okay, so this is a little bit harder to do with one hand. I don't have my tripod with me, so this is my mud. This is basically the consistency that you'd want it. This, or actually thinner. You make it dry, it doesn't really work as well. I've done that, and I've had stones sort of fall off the wall after a little period of time. All right, put a dollop there, a little bit more here, and what you'll be doing, this is just, well, this is going to be hard like this, but let's see if I can get it. This is how you get it to adhere good to your stone. Sorry for the horrible video. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll rake through and back into the bucket just to provide some pockets of air, so that when this goes to the wall, I'll be able to, hold on a second here, it'll just create more suction, basically. So Now this stuff, you don't have the flexibility of just adjusting or do whatever. So you stick it to the wall, shake it, shake it, shake it, and get it to where you need it to go, and then you cannot touch it. Touch it after that, it comes right off. So we're gonna go here, place it on, and then just give it a little shimmy until looks like that, and then you'll just kind of spread this into the grooves. You'll get some more mortar, if anything, and just fill whatever spaces you have. And when this thing sets, that's it. It won't be coming off the wall. You're good to go after that. Okay, so the next stone I'm putting up is a long one going here. So now you're pretty much always going to see every other one is going to be a short one, and you'll see that on the opposite side as well. Short, longer, short, longer, short. Now if you wanted this to put, okay, well I think I like it better if it, I put another shorter long on this side. And what happens is on this side you get two shorts together, and your seam is right, and it just doesn't look good, so you just, it's the proper way to do it is to do it this way, and you get different sizes on either side, but you'll have every other one always being short. Now here's another example. So here, this is a section I did yesterday, and looking at it, I'm like, well, I should have done, and this is, for most people, like, oh, it looks fine, what's the problem, right? Well, what could I have done better here was, instead of putting this one here, let's just say, if I started with this one already, I should have had this stone here start over here, and this smaller one end up over here, or, and then you could say these two gaps are the same, or at least, or maybe even put this one here over here and this one over here, so that, it's just, there's less of joints being close together and they're a little bit further apart. Either way, it looks fine. If you want to drive yourself crazy with that stuff, it's going to take a lot longer time, but this is something I'll be staring at when there's a fire and stuff, so I hate when I'm staring at something and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, ooh, I should have not put that one there, or I should have, adjusted this one or did that. And it's happened to me many times. So I'm trying to take my time, pick the stones that I like, and make it look really nice, especially on the sides that are going to be more visible. Okay, another tip here is I have been finding a lot of excess material from the casting. You'll see it on here, on the edges here like that, and sometimes they're really pronounced, especially on the corner pieces. It makes it helpful because if you leave them on, you'll have much wider gaps to fill in with the corresponding stones. If you just grind these off and make it flat, this way they sit nice and flat without any unevenness, and the next stone will go right up there, no problem. And then you just take your grinder or even another stone or something like that and just knock those off, or your trowel, just to knock that off flat. This way you don't have any stones that are going to be sitting cockeyed and things of that nature. So another tip there. Okay, I just want to reiterate that when you're dealing with a project like this, you put your corners on first. I would not recommend doing corners all the way up. I would do corners as you do the rows, and just piece in whatever's left in the middle. Whether you get lucky with a solid one piece, or it's probably going to be two pieces with a cut or something like that, but whatever it is you need to do to piece it in, you piece it in, because you really can't move the corners if you put these stones in first and then end up here. You can cut it, but it wouldn't, like on this particular stone, if you cut this, how much more can you cut? So put the corners in first and then piece in the middle and cut what you need. Another little tip here that I would say to do is, corners are kind of, especially a stone like that, they're not perfect, and you'll place them in sometimes and they'll dip down a little bit. This particular back section are really not that visible, so I'm going to do it as later on as far as filling it in. But what you would do is just put in like a scrap piece that you got cut off from another thing, just to see that you have enough room to slide in another stone. Maybe put a piece of shim over here so you can get it out easily afterwards. And that's just another tip. I'm also wetting with my pump spray. Um, the block and the stone, it's recommended on the mortar bag that be done. So I'm doing that, and it seems to be working out well. The stones are on rock solid, you know, and when you knock on them, there's no hollow sound behind them at all. And sometimes you'd want to do that, just, you know, knock around, and if there's not a good adhesion to the block, you'll hear a hollow sound. So far the installation's coming out good. Just wanted to put that piece in that came to me as I was doing the project. Okay, so my next difficulty in this project is really having some stones cross the span of the opening. So what I'm going to do is use a different material. I'm going to use some sort of thin set that I found works well, adhering to metal, glass, and things of that nature. Thin set is good to apply these stones, but it's much more expensive than the regular mortar that I showed you earlier. But in this instant right here, I'm definitely going to go with this. So what I'm going to do is basically I'll use the largest stone that I have, which is 22 inches. And what I did was I left a spot out over here and here so I could put this board across, and then later on I'll fill those pieces in, and so I could make sure it's nice and level. And then I'll put, see what happens here is that it's only going to, I'm fine with it creating a shorter opening. That might actually help from some of the smoke being sucked up the flue, just creating a little bit more of a resistance as far as it coming out the front, should there be a cold flue condition when you first start up the fireplace. So basically that's going to sit over there. I should have put that one there first, actually. So I'll just slide this one back, and hopefully they don't fall. I picked out these pieces. I picked out some pieces that were fairly light and thinner than most of the other ones, and they'll go like this. So I'll use thin set to basically adhere them to the metal and also to each other here. And I'll use thin set on here to really stick them to the next stone that's going to be on this block right here. So whatever isn't really attached to anything, because these are so long, and this whole section right here is going to have a good surface to attach to. It's going to give stability to the rest of the stone. If I'd used pieces and just had a piece of stone hanging off the metal right there, it wouldn't be as good. So if you have stones that are the largest ones you could find to go across the span, it's probably the best way that you're going to be able to keep those things in place without them falling off later on. And then this stone will go over here in the corner like that, and you pretty much have the span crossed, and you just leave that there till it sets, you brace, and then you can continue on. That's just the best I figured out how to do it, and I'll let you know how it works out. And by the way, if you find this video interesting, please like and subscribe. It helps motivate me to make more videos while I'm doing projects. And also, if you want to see how the structure was built, I have a link in the description and at the end to my previous video of how I built the fireplace before I put the stones on, so you can check that out as well.